Hi guys, so in this video I'll be showing us how I cut and some bits and pieces of how I made or sew this top rather. Yeah, so let's get started. Now this top does not have a zipper and I'm using my simple basic bodice pattern, and you can see the measurements I used in cutting out this top, and the length of the blouse is about 23 inches. Okay, and the neck width is 3.5 inches. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to place my pattern paper on top of this and trace it out so that I can make an extra copy. So I'll be using one copy for the front and the other copy for the back. That's the reason why I'm tracing out. You could use a tracing wheel if you want to, but this is quicker and faster for me, and I don't really need the dressing wheel for this particular tutorial. So I'm just cutting out, and now I have two pieces. Now for the back pattern, I'm going to come down by 1 inch for the back neckline. So I'll just mark 1 inch down, then I'll link it to the neckline. So the neck width is 3 inches. Okay, so I'm going to trim out that part out. Okay, so that's for the back pattern, easy busy. Now coming to the front, what I'm going to do is I'll come down by 2 inches from my chest line. Okay, 2 inches like so. Then I'm going to use my ruler to link that to my armhole like that. So once I link it like this, I'm going to cut through this line I just created. I also marked my shoulder tip, okay, just as a reference point. Okay, so now I'm going to cut through like this. Not through, I'll cut up to that point, right? Then I'm going to open it up to create the cowl um, effect. So now I have my fabric already folded into two. Okay, so this is the back. I've already cut out my back pattern, and the back is unfold because there's no zipper, right? Now for this front pattern, here it is here. I'll just pin the center front down, then I'll spread it, I'll open it up to 9 inches. Okay, then I'll draw a straight line to meet the shoulder tip. If you don't want it to be as open as mine, you can reduce it to probably 7 or 8, but I use 9. Now I want the line to be more visible like that, and then I'll just add my 1 inch side seam allowance and also 1 inch to the hem allowance. Okay, so once I do that, I'll go ahead and cut it out. So this is what it looks like. Now we're going back to the facing. Okay, so I'll raise up the pattern paper. Okay, so when I raise it up, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the width of my facing. Now your facing shouldn't be less than 3 inches, else it will be sticking out. So I'm marking 3 inches for my facing, and then I'll draw another straight line. So apparently I'm cutting the facing and the blouse together so that you're not having any joining around the neckline. So once I mark the facing, I'm going to cut it out. Then when I cut it out, I will now fold in the facing back. I'll fold in the facing as you can see. Okay, so when I fold in the facing, I'll be able to cut the seam allowance for my shoulder stand. So here I'm just folding it like that. My shoulder, my seam allowance for my shoulder is going to be about half an inch. So our front piece is ready. So both the front and the back are cut on fold, and there is no zipper at the back. So I'm just opening it up, and then I'll just show us what it looks like. So basically, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to notch. I'll create a notch to separate the facing from the main um, blouse itself. Then I'll just use my pin to hold it together like this. Okay, so this is like a rough sketch of what the front looks like. So I'm just going to pin the other part also, like so, because if you don't do this, you won't be able to like separate, you won't be able to get the exact shoulder width on the front. Okay, so you just pin it together, and then I'll just quickly show what it looks like a rough sight. So this is what it looks like roughly. But then now for the sleeve, it's very simple. You're going to draft a basic sleeve and draw your slash lines. okay, and then you slash the lines open and spread it on your fabric. Okay, so this is more like a bishop sleeve kind of. Okay, so now to sew the blouse, this is the back of the blouse. You're going to cut a facing for the back. Now a facing is a shorter version of the blouse itself, okay, but it's just shorter. So this is the back. I'll go ahead and sew the neckline, then I'll do a rolled hem for this, the hem of the facing. Okay, so that everything is nice and clean, and make sure you iron every step of the way. So this is the back here. You can see how it looks like. Now I'm going to be joining the back shoulder to the front shoulder like this. Okay, so I'll sew the shoulder with half an inch seam allowance, then I'll go ahead and join the front and back together at the shoulder. Then I introduced a belt to the blouse. Since there's no zipper, the belt will help to give the blouse shape. So this is the belt here. I placed it around my half length. Okay, and then I just sewed it together on the sides basically. So for the belt, there's no particular measurements. You just get creative and use your desired length. Okay, so where I want us to pay attention will be where I am doing a hemming of the blouse. It is very important. Okay, so before we get to the hemming of the blouse, I'll quickly show us for the sleeve. You run a hem around the edge of the sleeve, then you use your safety pin to pass elastic through the hem, so it gives you this elastic effect around the sleeve. I could post a link of a tutorial I've done on this before. I could do that to make sure you stitch down the elastic before you tuck it in finally. Now for the very important part of this tutorial, I'm attaching the sleeve to the armhole of the blouse. So any form of excess you have on the sleeve, you can use it to create gathers around the shoulder. Now I had to fast forward this part because apparently anybody who wants to sew a cowl neck should know how to join shoulder, should know how to attach a sleeve. I didn't want to make the video to be too long. That was why I just fast forwarded this part. Now for the hemming of the blouse, if you fold the hem of the blouse twice normally, it's not going to be neat. So what you want to do is you're going to fold the hem of the blouse once with quarter of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, and then you're going to sew it down. You're folding it just once. Some people will say it's a waste of your time. It's not waste of time, trust me. If you fold it twice and sew it, it's going to be very bulky and it's not look professional. Okay, so you can try it out and you see what I'm saying. So you just keep sewing. Don't forget you're folding it just once and then you sew. Okay, so once you're done doing that, you take this to the ironing table and you press it and trim out any excess allowance that you have. Okay, so when you press it, then you fold again with quarter of an inch again, and then you sew it again. When you do it like this, trust me, the hem is going to be very flat, neat and clean, unlike when you fold it twice and sew at once. Okay, don't be a lazy tailor. And you don't want your top to look homemade. You don't want people to sit and be like, oh, did you sew it? You want people to see the blouse and be like, wow, where did you buy it from? So you want to make it to have a very professional look. So you just keep hemming like so, and then when you get to the final post stop, you go ahead and give it a very good press. Make sure you use your overlocker to lock the inside. I've not done that yet after when I was shooting this video, but you're going to lock all the edges inside, and you see how clean and flat it looks like. So yeah, that's the end of this tutorial. So once again, I'll show us how it looks like on me. This is very nice, and then the belt gives it that fitted look without having to wear a zipper on the dress. Thank you for watching my tutorial. Bye.